My name is Travis Pluggy, and this is the top 7 events that led to the American Revolution. Great Britain needed a way to pay off their debts after the French and Indian War. The solution they came up with is the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts. The Stamp Act forced the colonists to have a tax stamp on all printed materials and legal documents. Commission distributors would collect the tax in exchange for the stamp. The Townshend Acts were a series of taxes on goods imported to the colonies. On March 5th, 1770, British soldiers shot and killed several people while being harassed by a mob in Boston. The event was heavily publicized by leading patriots such as Paul Revere and Samuel Adams, who would later fight in the Revolutionary War. One of the taxes imposed by the Townshend Acts was on tea. In response, the colonists held a political protest where on December 16th, 1773, they threw 340 crates of tea into Boston Harbor. The event was the first major act of defiance to British rule over the colonists. On March 24th, 1765, British Parliament passed the Quartering Act, outlining the locations and conditions in which British soldiers are to find room and board in the American colonies. The Proclamation of 1763 was issued by the British Parliament in order to create a boundary, known as the Proclamation Line, separating the British colonies on the Atlantic coast from American Indian lands west of the Appalachian Mountains. Britain did this to tighten its control over the American colonies. Upset by the Boston Tea Party and other acts of destruction of British property by the American colonists, the British Parliament enacted the Coercive Acts in response to the outrage of American patriots on March 28, 1774. Tensions had grown between the colonies and the British government, so on April 18, 1775, hundreds of British troops marched from Boston to nearby Concord in order to seize an arms cache. The colonies returned with fire, and this ultimately started the American Revolution.